Yo, what's going on, everyone? Miles Midoriya here with a review of All American Season 5, Episode 6. Starting with the whole Olivia article situation, in the episode, we know that Coach Garrett had resigned and Coach Kenny was confused. He didn't know what was going on. This signing day, like, why is he doing this? But Coach Garrett let Kenny know that he's a good person and that whatever he did for the team was for the greater good of the program. Right, because you injuring people to win a game was good for the team instead of practicing and training. Olivia's not letting it go. She thought it was unfair that he got away like that. Jordan thought, he's already leaving, so they good. But Spencer chimed in and said that they'll talk about it later. They gotta go talk to their teammates. Olivia spotted Garrett, and yeah, you can see the look on his face, bruh. He didn't want to talk to her. She told him that the article was still going to be coming out, but he let her know that it will affect Spencer and Jordan. Billy went to go talk to Rick. Look who's on screen if it ain't Harper and Lance. Nah, but Billy knows him and they started talking about Garrett, and Rick brings up that he knows Olivia's working on a story. When he mentioned that Garrett was resigning and the NCAA was being involved, I knew he was up to something. That's when he was like, yeah, the article should be out the way, and he proceeded to rush Billy out the office. He don't want no problems from that article, and he has not met Olivia. She not letting that go. Later, Olivia went to go talk to Jordan and Spencer, but Jordan wasn't there. They ended up getting in an argument over the article. Spencer thought that since Garrett had resigned, she was going to drop the article, but she was like, nah, it's still coming out. She's not backing down. Especially with it being said he's taking a year off to spend time with his family, which isn't that. She got reports that he's trying to work with a new university, which you think he would stay away from anything football and college related for a minute. Spencer got mad and was like, what about him and Jordan? The attention his article's gonna bring. They gonna look like snitches. She said, sorry, but they knew this day was coming. The article's bigger than both of them. He replied, it's important to stop Garrett from doing it again, but does she have to be the one to put the article out? That's true. They know he used to date her, and they know that's Jordan's sister, so they're going to be the first ones they go after. Eventually, Olivia went to go talk to her. I think it's her boss, Her name is Crystal, and she expressed to her that she's nervous about putting this article out because it will affect those around her. Crystal let her know that she was in a similar situation. The outside relationships made it complicated when she had to do articles because it was affecting those she started to like, but her mentor helped her out while protecting those she cared about. We get to the end of the episode and Olivia finally releases this article. She's talking to Spencer and it's revealed that she didn't use her name. She used another name, so can't nobody really trace it back to her. I will say at least she changed her name. The people that found out know she's a part of the article. Apart from that, they just have that name that's tied to the article. It was nice to see Spencer express himself because that article affects all of them. Olivia will have moments like that with articles and maybe affecting those around her like that, but at least think about those that will be affected by your article as well. Go through the different options like she did in this episode. Moving along to Jordan and JJ, that fight was pretty wild, but we're going to take it back a little bit. In the beginning of the episode, Jordan was picking up some trash. Asher let him know that JJ should be doing that. He's been having people over most of the night. All he cares about is partying. Jordan said it's just JJ. He's trying to enjoy his freshman year. Asher replied, they're freshmen and beyond capable of staying on top of their commitments and football. Layla even mentioned that him partying may be a cry for attention, that him, Spencer, and Asher are a little more focused on their goals and they are not around as much, so maybe he misses that and him partying shows that. Jordan took that into consideration. That could be it, but bruh, you don't have to party every single night. Go to practice, get ready for when the games are back. Later on, we actually learned that JJ's setting things up for a party that night. They're at the party, JJ's been drinking. I'ma say this next part was so disrespectful from JJ. Jordan was done with the party, he told everybody to leave. JJ said he's been a party pooper since high school. He was on a tight leash with Simone, now an invisible one with Layla. I said, wow, he really just said that in a room full of strangers. Jordan asked him what he mean by that. JJ was like, her track record bounced between the Vortex, Asher, Spencer, Jordan, and JJ said, oh, he might be next in line. That's when the fight broke out. Jordan wasn't playing around. JJ threw some punches in, so it wasn't a one-sided fight. JJ, that was out of line. Yes, Layla did date a few people in the group, but they were relationships and not random hookups. Also in the group, Olivia dated a few people too, so Layla wasn't the only one. But JJ didn't have to say that, especially in a room full of strangers. Asher walked into the house wondering what happened to Jordan, and Jordan lets him know that he was right. His problem is not in the ballpark of a freshman, that he thought maybe the partying was a cry for help, that he's spiraling, and the guys that he's hanging out with aren't helping him, so they have to figure something out. JJ overheard everything, and he told him that he's leaving. Asher said he's still drunk, go to sleep, they'll talk about it later. He said, nah, this is the most sober he's been in hours. He mentioned that they agreed to live in that house to enjoy college, but their signals got crossed. They went from being his friends to grumpy old men. Jordan said, is there anything he wanted to talk about, anything he regrets saying? He said, nah, he lives with no regrets and have fun paying his share of the rent. First off, Asher gonna wonder what he wanted to talk about with JJ. Second, Jordan was brave because he would have let it be known in front of Asher, but JJ decided not to say anything even though he could have revealed it before he left. JJ will have to learn on his own about bettering his life. They tried to help him, but he's gonna have to help himself. It's sad it had to be this way. Maybe he will change sometime down the road, but leaving won't fix his problems. Up next is Patience. In this episode, she was shooting a music video for one of her songs, and when she got there, she did not like how everything was set up, the clothes. She wasn't feeling it, and even Layla was wondering what was going on. Gia felt bad about the whole thing, so she went to go apologize to Patience, and she let her know that the real reason she set up the video shoot the way she did was for her to play a character, and the whole point of it was for her to have fun and also feel a sense of protection. The idea was to use the character to distance Patience, a person, from all the crazy fans, and Patience understood it a little, and she said she'll give it a try. It was a nice moment. Glad everything worked out with Patience. You want to make sure that your artist is good while also expanding what they normally do, as long as they are good with it. Spencer, Jordan, and Asher were tasked in this episode with recruiting players. Besides the JJ incident and the article, Spencer and Jordan helped out with the recruiting since Garrett resigned and the players were on the fence about joining GAU. In the beginning, they went to go talk to Coach Kenny. He wanted to know everything that was going on, and the scene jumped to Asher, and at first, Coach Montez wanted to recruit Spencer and Jordan. I was like, hold on now, but Asher let him know that he doesn't want to pressure them, and if they want to land at Coastal, he will be the first to sign them. He agreed and sent Asher out to recruit some players. Coach Montez wasn't playing at first, boy. He was aiming for the top players. Spencer and Jordan tell Kenny what happened, and he couldn't believe it, especially with Isaiah. So the big player that they're going after for signing day is Marco. Jordan and Spencer came up with the idea of putting Kenny in the forefront, that he would be the one to draw them in. Kenny thought about it, and he said if he agrees, they get 4 players each to recruit. Spencer said that he wanted to talk to Marco, but Kenny said he got it. Just to save y'all some time, he should have let Spencer talk to him. Spencer had asked him what should they say when they asked about Coach Garrett. He said, tell them that GAU is focused on the future and Garrett is the past. Look at Kenny boosting himself up. At the beach house, Asher's talking to Jamie. She wanted to check out this pop-up kitchen that's plant-based. It's one day only, but he apologized that they couldn't spend as much time together because the current season has been unpredictable. That's when Jamie mentioned could she tag along when he goes recruiting players, and he agreed. Downstairs, Jordan is asking Spencer how the recruiting's going, and he said he can't get a hold of none of them. Jordan joked around saying maybe they want to talk to GAU star QB. That's when Spencer let him know that the name Spencer James is good enough. He don't need to put star wide receiver next to it. After a while, Spencer did alright with the recruiting. A few people joined, and one of them joined because JJ was having a party in the background, and he said if it's as fun as that, he's joining GAU, and Spencer hurried up and agreed. Come on, Spencer, you can't be doing that. He did find out from one of the possible recruits that Marco may not be going to GAU. He went to go talk to Coach Kenny, and Coach Kenny told him that Marco left them on red. That was rude. Spencer told Coach Kenny that he was Marco, and Coach Dante from Toledo State ghosted him. He had a hard time trusting the coach, which is why he should have let him talk to him first. It's funny because the scene jumps to Asher meeting with Marco, and Spencer's calling him, and he has him saved under maybe Spencer James. The recruiting was going well for a little while, and Jamie was really helping out. Marco respected it and said he has a real one. It seemed like he was going to go to Coastal. Spencer ends up calling again, and Asher was like, could he get that call? He knows him. Spencer saw him pick up the phone. He said, you the one trying to recruit Marco? He was like, nah, it's done. Spencer said when he meets him at GAU, it's going to be different. We all know when Spencer get him speeches, it's like an automatic win for him. Spencer meets up with Marco, and he was a little worried about the head coach situation, but he lets him know that they're working on it, and he was just like him when he was making his decision. He told him that Garrett was the face of the program, but Coach Kenny is the engine that keeps them going. And as a bonus, he gets to play football with him and Jordan for the next few years. It's a tough decision for Marco, but we know how Spencer talks to people. He told him that he knows he has a lot of schools trying to approach him and to take his time deciding if he goes to Coastal, he'll still rock with him. Then Spencer went in to speak in Spanish. I said, there you go, bonus points. He also mentioned choose what's right for him and his family. Pick a place with the right energy that's going to allow him to be him unapologetically. Choose a school that's going to allow him to live out his dreams, whatever that looks like. After that speech, I said, yeah, he's joining. Asher went to go see Coach Montez and basically confirmed that Marco signed with GAU. He let him know that he thought they had a chance. Then Coach Montez asked if Jamie was with him, and he said yeah. So the coach called her in and asked her to get a rundown on what happened. Of course, she told him that he was doing the best that he could do, working hard, trying to recruit people. Asher told him that he got 3 players off of GAU's roster, and that's when Coach Montez said he did a good job. Asher did mention that he wanted to recruit Marco, but the coach let him know you can't win them all. Also, that his girlfriend is a keeper, kind of reminds him of his wife, and not to mess it up. You know, it's cool to see Asher doing good and achieving some of his goals. Since they missed the pop-up kitchen, he actually had some of the food delivered, so at the end of the day, both of them won. Shout out to Asher, he's doing good, building up himself to be a coach, so I can't wait to see what they do with him in the future. Towards the end of the episode, Spencer's talking with Coach Kenny, and Spencer is a little down because they didn't get all the recruits, but Kenny let him know that he's proud of them and the work that they put in. But the celebration didn't last for too long because I mentioned earlier that Olivia dropped her article, so everyone was focused on that. So next episode is going to be a chaotic one. It was a pretty cool episode. JJ, that dude got to work on himself, or they got to figure out something for him. And Spencer and Jordan, they're going to be dealing with this article in the next episode. Here's a video synopsis on the upcoming episode. Thank you all for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.